Hey guys, my name is Frank Doorhof and welcome to this new series of backstage videos. Now, you know that N-Week always films backstage videos, right? And, well, they're pretty interesting to see, but you don't know what's going on. So in this new series, we're actually gonna tell you the gear I'm using and we'll give you some small tips. So today we have a workshop in a beautiful location, Kannenburg. It's almost a museum, it actually is a museum. And we are allowed to shoot there. So you're gonna see the group working on location. So what kind of gear do I use? Well, as a camera, I'm using the new Sony a7R II tethered to my laptop. It's an amazing camera, great dynamic range, awesome for that kind of stuff. Of course, we're gonna shoot natural light. But one of the things that I love to do on location is mix natural light with strobes. One of the biggest problems when you bring strobes is power. They often are way too powerful to really let in that ambient light. Of course, you can use a technique called dragging the shutter, in which you use the shutter to let in more of the ambient light, but you also need a strobe that you can actually power down really low. And that's why I love these Alengrom ELBs. These are really nice. You have two channels. On one channel you have a really low output, and on the other channel you can go all the way up to 400 watts. And the display, they finally made a really cool display which you can actually read just like the ELC series. So no more cryptic descriptions. It's a really nice and easy to follow display. So what are we going to use on these? Well, you can travel with your whole studio, all the softboxes, all the gear you need, but best is to do it very basic, because then you don't need to drag a lot of gear with you. Now, one of the things that I love to do when I really want to steer my light inside is a beauty dish with a grid. Now, why a grid? Very simple. It really narrows the beam and you can put the light exactly where you want. Now, the beauty dish will eat a little bit of light, meaning it will cost you a little bit of output. If you still, on the lowest setting of your Quadra, have too much output to mix the ambient light, what you can actually do is use a softbox or a sock, or anyway make sure that it lowers the output a little bit. You can also go to a company and call something ND filters. You can buy them and it's actually a filter you can put on your strobe and lower the output. Now, as you can already see, this is not a Quadra beauty dish. It's actually one of the normal Alengrom systems. Now, what do I use on the Quadra? On the Quadra, this is one of the Quadra heads, I'm actually using a connector which makes it possible to use all the Alengrom accessories, because the Quadra normally has a different connector. Now, you can buy everything double, like you buy the Quadra beauty dish or the Quadra softbox, but then you have to also buy them for your Alengrom set. So just buy this connector and you can actually use all your gear that you have already in the studio on location on the Quadra. The other thing that I use on location, which I really love, and this is probably one of my favorite modifiers, it's the Maxi light from Alengrom. And I actually have a grid on this one also. And it's made by a company called Honeycomb Grids. Really cool device. And you know what the fun part about this one is? If you shoot outside, it adds approximately 1.5 stop extra compared to a normal reflector. So when you shoot outside with a Quadra, you only have 400 watts, right? If you put this one up, you have a lot of power, even enough to fight the sun. But the most important tool I'm using, the most important tool of all, and you already know this, guys, it's the light meter, because I kid you not, it's just a tool. It makes it work so much faster. So during the workshops, I tell my students a lot about lighting, mixing lighting, metering, coaching the models, and all that extra stuff. But the gear, it's the most important. And as you can see in this video, we really use not a lot of gear. Oh, and one more thing. If you really need power, we still use the Rangers, of course, the big ones, the 1100 watt seconds from Alengrom. You can see those outside during the video. So let's go to Kannenburg and we'll show you the backstage video. You can see all the gear that I just discussed used on set.
Goedemorgen, we staan hier voor het prachtige kasteel Kannenburg in Vaassen. Wederom, we zijn hier voor de tweede keer te gast. Kannenburg, onderdeel van Gelderse Landschap en Kastelen. En de tour van Frank Doorhof. We bezoeken alle kastelen voor prachtige workshops. Nadine als model en styling vandaag, dus ja, dat is knallen. Christa met de make-up. Cursisten mogen ook vandaag weer meeschieten, gaan weer met prachtige foto's naar huis toe. En jullie zijn van harte uitgenodigd bij de andere workshops in de Kastelentour. En hou de website in de gaten voor de prachtige resultaten.